In this course, you are going to learn how to grow a following and find customers on LinkedIn. But you won't just learn from me. I talked with expert content marketer and LinkedIn expert Mandy McEwen. Together, we are going to save you from wasting time posting content that gets no results, and by helping you find the right people who actually want to work with you on LinkedIn. This course is broken down into 6 parts. Why focus on LinkedIn over other social platforms, goal setting, optimizing your profile, finding your ideal clients and connections, making those connections, and posting content. Feel free to use the timestamps in the description box or along the progress bar to jump around as you need to. By the way, if you're like me and you want to use this video to help train your team, then you can download my free and fillable LinkedIn checklist to ensure that they are set up for success and get the most out of this content. To begin, you need to understand the why behind LinkedIn, meaning why you should be on the platform in the first place. Here are 5 reasons that you should focus on LinkedIn over other social media platforms. Number 1. On LinkedIn, if you create content, you are in the top 1% of LinkedIn users. Only 3 million of the 740 million users on LinkedIn actually share content on a weekly basis. Most people on LinkedIn just kind of lurk, which means that the content that you create has the ability to go farther. Number 2. You can find people who are actually interested in your stuff. You can search for people based upon industry, job title, location, hashtags, company, groups, and more. Most people go to social media platforms like TikTok or Instagram or Facebook to be entertained. However, people go on LinkedIn to learn and network. If you can add value by helping people survive in the world, people will actually listen and follow you.
The easiest way to know if you should be spending your time on LinkedIn is to look at LinkedIn, use the search bar, type in some keywords, use the search parameters and the criteria to filter people that you're going after. So your ICP, your personas, and look at them. Look at how many of them are showing up. Look at how many of them are actively using it. If you start sorting through them and you see that they haven't logged, it's clear they haven't posted anything in years and their profile has 2 words and they might not even have a headshot. Well, then, I don't know. But most people know if they have an active target market on LinkedIn. B2B if you're in B2B, it's a 100% you need to be on LinkedIn. Like, that is a no-brainer, right? But there's even some B2C organizations that could still benefit from LinkedIn. It's just a matter of how active is that target audience.
Number 3, you are in control of your following. With most social media platforms, you just have to post content and then hope that people start following you, or you have a limited amount of followers that you can have. With LinkedIn, technique, strategy, and hustle actually pay off. You can connect with specific people who are already interested in the stuff that you do or the work that you do. Number 4, people are already looking at your LinkedIn. Most professionals have a LinkedIn, and if you are one of them, then when people Google your name, your LinkedIn profile is likely to pop up at the top, especially if you don't have a personal website. Therefore, people are viewing your LinkedIn profile whether you like it or not. With more than 55 million companies listed on the site and 14 million open jobs, it's no surprise to find out that 87% of recruiters regularly use LinkedIn. Why not be intentional about what you put there? Number 5, there is the most amount of money on LinkedIn. 44% of LinkedIn users earn over $75,000 per year, which is more than the national average. Also, millennials comprise over 60% of LinkedIn's user base, with 11 million of the 87 million millennials in decision-making positions. Put simply, you can connect with people who have money and who can spend that money, especially if you are a B2B or a business-to-business company. Now, let's talk about goal setting. Do you have LinkedIn goals? Like, really? Before you build out your profile, make connections, or post content, you need to be specific about why you are on LinkedIn in the first place.
You have to be super clear on your goals. So what it is you're trying to accomplish, your target audience, who you're going after, and your unique selling proposition. So what makes you different, right? So you need to have clarity on what the hell it is that you're doing. What's your purpose? Why are you even going on LinkedIn anyway? But you also have to think about it from, a different outside of the box thinking. It's not always a direct one-to-one, I'm needing new clients, focus here. Think about partnerships, think about collaborations, think about speaking opportunities, right? So there's all sorts of other ways that LinkedIn is incredibly beneficial outside of direct lead generation and prospecting.
Literally write down why you are on LinkedIn. Here is an example. I am on LinkedIn to make connections and collaborate on content with social media experts and to find small businesses that need social media management. Here is another example. I am on LinkedIn to increase the downloads of my podcast and to find new guests to feature. Okay, this may seem simple, but setting these goals is everything. Every connection that you make and piece of content that you post should support these goals. Now, let's talk about setting up your profile. Just like a website is the home base for all your marketing efforts, your LinkedIn profile is the starting place to growing a following and making money on LinkedIn.
You have to optimize your profile. Again, a key step. Don't even bother spending time on LinkedIn doing anything if you have a crappy profile, because it's just not going to work, right? Or it's going to work to a degree, but you're going to see way better results if you have an optimized profile.
Here are 6 things that you need to nail with your profile. Number 1. Your profile picture needs to show a happy and smiling picture of you with a bright background. This way, when you comment or post, you will stand out from the dark blue and white LinkedIn platform. Number 2. Your LinkedIn banner image helps people to learn more about you and what you do. It's like the hero image of a website. Now, I've seen 3 types of banners that work on LinkedIn. The first is the authority banner. This displays a book or a lead magnet that you have created, positioning you as an expert in the field. The second is the social proof banner that shows you speaking or in action doing something connected to your work, or it shows logos or quotes from brands and people who have worked with you. Last, and my favorite, is the clarity banner. This says who you help, where you help them, how you help them, and the benefit you bring. A key to making a good LinkedIn banner is to position all of your content on the right-hand 2/3, because on mobile, your profile picture will cover up the left-hand 2/3. Number 3. Next, your LinkedIn profile needs a one-liner. This is a simple, quick, and clear way for someone to know exactly what you do. Here is that equation again. It's who you help, where you help them, how you help them, and the benefit you bring. Now, obviously, if your business is not geographically bound, then you want to leave out the part about where you help them. And you can rearrange and order these items, but it all needs to add up for your one-liner. Here is an example. Helping dads in the Atlanta area lose weight so that they can feel like themselves again. Or, I create custom Squarespace websites to help you grow your business and save you time in just 2 weeks. Number 4. Next is your About section. This section is a chance to explain more about what you do, the steps someone takes to work with you, your story, etc. I have a whole video on how to write the copy for the homepage of your website, but you should use that on your LinkedIn About section because everything, and I mean like everything, is going to carry over. Number 5. You need to enable creator mode. This is going to give you some awesome options on how to expand your network and your content's reach. And here are 6 reasons why you need to enable creator mode. 1 is that you can display the topics that you post about in your profile introduction as hashtags. This makes it easier for other LinkedIn members to discover your content and follow you. 2 is that you can create a 30-second profile picture video for people to learn more about you and to just get a feel of your personality. 3 is that you can highlight your original content on your profile by moving your featured and activity sections to be first on your profile. 4 is that you can become eligible to be featured as a suggested creator to follow so that potential followers can discover you and your content across LinkedIn. 5 is that you can get access to creator tools such as LinkedIn Live Video and LinkedIn Newsletter. And 6 is that you can change your connect button on your profile to follow and to display the number of followers that you have on your profile. And if you're like, yo, what's the difference between followers and connections? Well, followers can see your content, but you can't see them. And people can follow you without you having to approve them. Your connections can see your content and you can see their content. Also, you can direct message your connections too, but you can't message people that you follow. Basically, you want it to be easy for people to follow you, but when you reach out to people, you want to connect with them. And also, just one more bonus feature is that all of the posts that you make when you have creator mode turned on will include a follow button. So it just makes it one step easier for people to see your content and then follow you. Pretty cool, right? Well, here's how to turn creator mode on. Click the Me icon at the top of your LinkedIn homepage. Click View Profile. Scroll down to Resources and click on Creator Mode Off. Click Next on the Creator Mode Preview pop-up window. Add topics, these are those hashtags, to indicate the topics that you want to post about the most, and then click Done. LinkedIn profile tip number 6. Build out your skills, endorsements, and recommendations. The skill and endorsement section of your profile allows you to showcase the stuff that you know how to do. If you are good at a certain type of software, programming language, or even soft skills like communication or team management, then you can include them here. Also, people can endorse these skills of yours to boost your credibility. Something I like even more are recommendations. Recommendations are similar to endorsements, but I think even more powerful because they speak to you as a total person. They are basically testimonials. You can give a recommendation in 2 ways. You can either go to someone's profile, scroll down, and find the recommendation section, or if you look and see that they don't have a section, it probably means that nobody has recommended them yet. Also, I just said probably, really strange. No worries, you can be the first to recommend them, and they will probably be grateful. Go to the top of their profile and click More, and then Recommend. Write some kind, thoughtful words, and then you are good to go. Similarly, you can request a recommendation by going to your recommendation section, clicking the plus icon, and then request a recommendation, and then typing in the name of the person that you would like to ask. Or by clicking More on someone's profile and then clicking Request a Recommendation. It's a good rule of thumb to give twice as many recommendations as you request. All right, now let's talk about finding your ideal clients and connections. Every person who is doing business on LinkedIn needs an outreach list. Here is how to build your outreach list.
So the first thing is, have a list of people that you're wanting to get in front of. I mean, that kind of goes without saying, like you need to know who you're targeting, right? So if you have a list of people, prospects or prospective collaboration partners, or even influencers that you want to build relationships with, win-win relationships with, then make that list.
Using the search bar on LinkedIn, you need to type in a word related to your product or service, or that helps you to identify your ideal client. For example, if I'm trying to reach out to behavioral health professionals in my community, like therapists, the first thing that I'm going to type into the search bar is therapists. Now, you'll see that there are a whole lot of other qualifiers that LinkedIn gives you, such as posts, groups, events, and each of these could be super valuable on their own. But for now, let's focus on people. From here, there are 2 other qualifiers that might be helpful, and these are connections and location. For locations, maybe I want to find therapists in Denver. I'll type in Denver. Now my list is narrowed down. Next is connections. First degree connections are people that I'm already connected to, but second degree connections are people who I share at least one first degree connection with. This can be a great trust building bridge, so I'll click second degree connections. The next thing that I want to do is to make sure that they're actually active on LinkedIn. If they don't have a profile picture or if they haven't posted in a while, I don't want to waste my time. I can click into their profile, check out their activity, and as long as they are active, they might be a good person to reach out to. Now I can build a list of people in the profession that I'm looking for, in the location that I am in, who I also share some connections with, and who are also active on the platform. This focuses my efforts even more. Now, if I'm not geographically bound and I want to connect with other people of an interest, I can type in a hashtag like hashtag mental health into the search bar and see who on LinkedIn is posting on that topic. If my company only works with other companies that have blogs, then I can type in hashtag blog and see people who are posting from their blogs on LinkedIn. It can also be helpful to join groups around your ideal connections or create or attend events where your people might also be. You can find those filters when you type something into the search bar too. Think about intersections. Intersections are what allow you to focus on who you are talking to when you are networking or creating content. And it's the thing that's going to allow you to get results. Here's what I mean. If I told you to meet me on South Walnut Street in Bloomington, Indiana, though you may have an idea of where this is at, you could look it up, right? A street covers a lot of distance. Chances are you may never find me. But the second that I tell you to meet me at South Walnut and 2nd Street in Bloomington, Indiana, you can very easily find me. It's latitude and longitude. You need two different intersections to have directions to know where something is. Applying filters actually helps you to find where your people are. It doesn't matter if you know who your product is for if you do not know where they are at. The more intersections that you have, the more focused your efforts will be. If your audience is therapists, that's, a lot of folks. Therapists in Rockville, Maryland, that's closer. Adolescent therapists in Rockville, Maryland who have posted on LinkedIn in the last 30 days? All right, now you're getting somewhere. Brands, platforms, followings, all are built one person at a time. But you can only find that one person if you know exactly who you have in mind. Oh, that rhymed. Oh, that did too. Oh, it stopped. Once you have a list of really specific people, and before you ask for a connection, you need to build up some goodwill. And for this, you need to leave comments. You should comment on someone's post at least twice before you ask for a connection request. Mandy thinks that it should be a regular part of your workday to leave at least 5 meaningful comments on different people's posts in a day.
Leaving at least 5 meaningful comments a day is a really good place to start. Comments are huge and so underutilized. I have so many people I've worked with that have landed clients just from leaving comments, or landed hundreds of connection requests within the same day because of an awesome comment they left.
Here, meaningful means that it's at least 3 lines long and that it's hyper specific to what they are talking about. This will put you on their radar so that your connection request doesn't just, come out of nowhere when you send it. And if you would like to streamline and organize your list building process even more, then LinkedIn Sales Navigator can be a great tool. It's a paid feature of LinkedIn, but it allows you to create even more filters to create lists, and it pulls people's profile information onto the dashboard itself. Some of its most helpful features is that you can set a filter to only display people who have posted on LinkedIn in the last 30 days so that you know that they are somewhat active. You can also search by companies, employee count, recent job changes, and even more. You can also create alerts from your list so that you are notified when people from your list post so that you're there ready to comment. A helpful process is to create a list of folks and also create a commented once, commented twice, and ready to send connection list. This way, after you comment on someone's stuff, you can click move to a different list and place them in the commented once list, then commented twice list, and then ready to send connection list. All right, now it's time to talk about making connections. Before you start posting content on LinkedIn, there is one more important step, and that is to make connections.
You need to spend the majority of time engaging with people and building those relationships more so than posting content. And I know that might seem weird coming from a content marketer who's built her business around content, but you have no idea, Clint, how many times people are like, I'm posting all of this great content on LinkedIn and it's just not working. And I'm like, well, are you building relationships? Well, what do you mean? Are you engaging with other people? Are you sending connection requests? Well, no. And I'm like, well, then you can't expect your content to work. Because here's what happens, Clint, is the same people see your content over and over again. If you're not growing your audience, you have the same people that you've probably known since high school, a lot of them, right? That aren't your target market. They're seeing your content. That's not doing you any good. Of course, if other people are engaging with your content, their followers might see it if they're commenting, but it becomes a waste of time when you're posting loads of awesome content and you're not deliberately growing your connection base. It is not worth the time. And so this is why I stress, as a huge advocate of content marketing, as someone who has built her business around content and my personal brand around my content, I love content, but I am telling you right now, content is pointless if you are neglecting the relationship building aspect of LinkedIn.
A big part of this is that if you don't spend time building up your network, the pool of people who see your content will be stale or uninterested. You need to connect with people who may actually care about what you are posting.
Because the way LinkedIn works too is they're going to reward you for those new connections. So every time you build relationships and you send new connection requests and you are starting conversations with people, those people in your LinkedIn message inbox, they're going to see your content. The algorithm shows them your content first because the algorithm sees that you just built that new relationship. You're talking to this person in Messenger. So they're going to see your content. So it's a no-brainer. If you want your content to get in front of your ideal prospects, your ideal target market, then start conversations with them, get them in your network, send them messages and start talking to them because the algorithm is then going to show your content to them because you're a new connection.
Mandy recommends that when you reach out to people to connect, give them a personalized message as to why. Like, hey, first name, I saw that we share some connections and I've really enjoyed your content about X, and I thought it would be great to connect. With this approach, narrowing your content list down to specific people, engaging with their content, and then giving them a reason to connect, you will dramatically increase the likelihood that they will say yes. You can send up to 100 connection requests a week, which means that go-getters could send up to 20 a day, Monday through Friday. And when someone accepts a request, that frees up that spot. So within a couple of months of hustle, you can build up your connections by the thousands. Can we talk about actually being social on social media for a second? Essentially, the people who do the best on social media are actually social. Sure, there are scheduling platforms that make it easier to post on multiple platforms or auto message prospects, but what you can't automate is the actual social side of things. All the same rules apply on social media as they would for in-person networking events. Think about it. There, you would walk up to a group of people talking and you'd first listen in on the conversation, which is, building a list and viewing activity. And next, you might make a meaningful response to what they are saying, which is commenting. And then you would introduce yourself. This is the same thing as sending a connection request. Then you might say what you think about a topic or ask questions or ask other people's perspectives on an issue. This is posting content. And then if all of this seems like a good fit, then you ask someone if they would like to talk further. This is the same thing as initiating a meeting or a sale. Sending someone a connection request out of the blue and asking them to buy your stuff or schedule up with you right away is not something you would ever do at a party. So just don't do it on social media. You would never be at a party and say, "Nice to meet you. Have you thought about using video in your marketing strategy to increase your inbound leads?" That sucks. Nobody likes this. Matter of fact, copy the link to this post or a video and then bookmark it and send it to the next spammer who connects with you and tries to sell you something without getting to know you first. Let's make this the video that someone shares with cold prospectors with no manners. Okay, I'm gonna get down off of my soapbox now. Once you have this awesome list of connections, then what? What kind of content will get the best results on LinkedIn? How do you post in a way that makes people actually engage with your stuff? There are 4 elements to a good LinkedIn post. Number 1, an attention-grabbing headline. Number 2, an opportunity for engagement. Number 3, calling out specific people to give their response. And number 4, the right hashtags. Let's break these down. First, above the fold is your headline. You either want to make someone curious or come out with a strong opinion. Both provoke the person to click the see more text on a post. Check out this awesome blog post I wrote on SEO best practices. That won't cut it. Instead, you could say, out of everything that you could do for SEO, there are 2 things that are the most important. ... This is a strong opinion. Or, when I figured this out, I finally saw traffic to my website after years of crickets. And it had nothing to do with the keywords or title tags. ... Okay, now I'm curious. Next, you need to actually give people a chance to say what they think. This is called being social. Nobody likes to be in a conversation in which the other person doesn't seek out other people's opinion. This is like playing tennis with the ocean. You can be serving things out, but you never get anything back. You could say, "I'm curious, has anyone else ever seen their blog suddenly explode after changing one thing?" This is an invitation, an opportunity. Think of LinkedIn posts like vampires. People can only come in and respond when they are first invited. Afterwards, you should call out specific people from your outreach list, people who are influencers on the topic, or people who might be interested or willing to respond. You could say, "I'm particularly interested in what X, Y, and Z think about this." Keep the callouts at 5 or below. This practice is also helpful because sometimes people won't comment on things until someone else has also commented on it first. Mandy will take this a step further and specifically message people about a piece of content.
So what I like to do is create really relevant polls and then send those polls to my first degree connections that are targeted. So I'm going to give you an example of this, Clint. So I had a poll that was a question for executives on should your employer provide LinkedIn training for all of your employees? And so what I did was I used Sales Navigator. I created a list of first degree tech CMOs and I sent them all the same message. And here's what the message said. "Hi, Tim. I just posted a poll on employee LinkedIn training and would love your one-click vote on it. Hope you're doing well." And then I put the URL of the poll, and that's all I said. And I sent this out to several of my first degree connections that fit that criteria of technology CMOs. And lo and behold, I got loads of responses and Tim became a client because it was perfect timing. Tim said, "Wow, Mandy, great timing. We were actually just talking today internally about how we need to train our team on LinkedIn." And then what do you know? Tim became a client. So that was the easiest way possible to land new clients because it's the least salesy way that you could possibly do on LinkedIn because you're sending someone something that they actually might be interested in. People love like participating in polls that are relevant because it's fun, right? And they're curious. That's why polls work really well is because people are curious what other people are saying. So when you make something that's an industry specific poll and you're piquing curiosity and you're getting people to click on it, and then you leverage that to start conversations with people, magical things can happen.
Last, include hashtags related to your content topic. Think about if someone were to search on this hashtag and then find your post, would they be interested in it? LinkedIn will also give you suggested hashtag ideas too. You should use around 5 hashtags. Anything more can come across as thirsty. Also, if you are giving people a call to action via a link or a longer video or a blog post, or anywhere on your website, then you want to make sure that you put that into the comments and not when you're actually writing the text post. And that's because some recent experiments have shown that it helps to improve content reach, because LinkedIn doesn't really want people to leave their platform. Instead, just say link in comments and then post it there. Now, along with poll posts and text posts related to your industry, there are 2 other types of posts that work really well on LinkedIn. These are video posts and vulnerable posts. Here, Mandy explains one of the reasons why video is so powerful when building a network.
You know how many times I have people, they're like, I feel like I know you. I watch your videos. I feel like we're besties. I feel like I know you. I get that all the time. I love your LinkedIn videos. People I don't even know, and they know about my life and they know about me, my personality. I've never even talked to them before. And it's all from my videos. And so do you think that it's a lot easier for me to sell those people than people who aren't posting videos? Hell yes, it is. I don't even have to hardly do any selling. They already love me. They already know my personality. They know I'm fun. They know I know my stuff. So selling becomes so much easier. And I'm sure you get that too, client, right? People watch your videos and they learn from you and they learn about you as a human being. And so the barrier is a lot lower, the barrier of entry to get your foot in the door when you have these amazing videos. So, people can say what they want. I'm a huge fan of video.
And if you're like, no, that's not me, I don't do video stuff, I don't want to be on camera, well, then you really need to focus on this next part, which is about being vulnerable. You need to show people that you are human. People do not connect with perfect folks. Superman is the least relatable superhero. We, as human beings, cannot relate to kryptonite. If you expect your prospects to be open about their struggles or problems in their business, then you better be ready to be open about your struggles in your business too. People want content that is relatable.
I love LinkedIn because you can still post all the business tips you want. You can talk about your business, but you can also post personal posts. And I encourage people to get personal. So when you can be vulnerable and you talk about lessons learned and experiences that you're going through or mistakes that you made, people love that. I just got fired posts, they always go viral. So anytime you can talk about struggles and challenges or something that you overcame or your clients overcame, that is gold and people love that. No one wants to work with someone who's just seen as this perfect influencer all the time that could do no wrong and has this glorious life. And if you play yourself up to that, no, you're not relatable. You have to be relatable as a real human being. You have to get real and you have to build that common ground with people. You have to get vulnerable because like you said, it opens up more conversations and doors for other people to get, vulnerable too. But it also lets people know that you are a real human being and you are relatable. And that's key.
Listen, if this was helpful, be sure to download the full LinkedIn checklist. It's free, it's fillable by clicking the link in the description box. And also leave me a comment if you have any questions about LinkedIn at all, and I will respond. Also, why not actually connect with me on LinkedIn? You don't even have to comment on my post first. And if this conversation was interesting to you and you want to catch the full discussion that I had with Mandy McEwen, then be sure to listen to the School of Content podcast wherever you consume your podcasts. And I'd be remiss to say that if you want to help to grow your brand even more, then you need a website. And I create awesome and completely custom Squarespace websites from scratch. Now, I have tons of free tutorials on stuff too, so if you want to do it yourself, you can use those, but it's definitely something to check out. All my love, and I will see you on the next episode.